If I have 400 units and one person moves out, I don't even know anything happened. I'm like, it was a non-event.
That's it.
This is where people should start. You should start with 32 units. That is the perfect number. You should look for a property where the rents are 1,000, but they should be 1,200. They're 200 too low. If you can find that deal in your marketplace, it's probably 1970, 1980 built. Guy's probably owned it 10 or 15 years. He didn't raise the rents because he doesn't need to. The rents are 1,000. You raise them to 1,200. You'll make $1.2 million on that deal as soon as you move the rents without doing anything. The 6 homes that you have, you could live off the income of those. But the problem with those 6 homes is you're worried those people are going to move out.
Yeah. One of them moved out and it's a luxury property.
Yeah.
And I've had it for listed for rent and nobody's rented
so
it.
I'd have to lose 45 people per building to be at the same place you are.
So the one-off vacancies don't bother.
It's easier to make $20 million a year than it is $2 million. Like, I know nobody's going to believe this. This is your big clickbait.
Really?
Okay, billionaire says easier to make $20 million a year than $2 million. And I'm telling you it is.
How? Well, explain that.
Because you need people. You need to add people. People are not a problem. There's a math. There's an equation to moving from 200 grand to 2 million to 20 million. The super wealthy, they don't do things the way we do things. I got to get 200. I got to take baby steps. Real estate people do this too. I got to buy a single family and then I got to buy a duplex and then I got to buy another duplex. You don't have to do it like that. You could actually skip to the good stuff. 33% of all Americans are holding a second job right now to pay their bills. And that is the highest level since World War II ended. The U.S. is in a recession, firmly 2 years of recession, but we don't feel it because we're told that's not happening. When I was growing up, recession was 2/4 of a shrinking GDP. Now they added jobs to that to balance it out. But if you added credit card debt, the highest amount of credit card debt in the history of plastic, at the highest rates in the history of interest rates. Why, if we're doing so well, is the average American family banging a plastic card? We have used car dealers around the country. Their inventories are exploding. This is a real indicator of like, okay, we got problems now. Rents are flat or decreasing. Mortgage applications are at the lowest level of 15 years. Every day people are being screwed.
If I made 400 grand a year, I would be embarrassed with myself as a husband, a father, basically as a human being. You guys haven't done the math because
how do you say you're going to be embarrassed as a human being that you're making $400,000 a year? What about the guy that just served you at Sizzler? What about the person that works at Starbucks? What about the people that are at McDonald's or Target or Walmart? Grant, you're saying things that are just absurd so people will buy your course, so that people will buy your training course. You got to stop doing this. Just be genuine. Say, I can show you how to make more than $400,000 a year with my course. I can show you how to be wealthy in real estate because I've done it myself. But you got to stop with this bullshit all the time and putting people down.
I never take care of people's finances.
Ever.
Ever.
So either they pay for everything themselves or they can't go.
Because what's going to happen is if I take care of them over and over again, they're going to resent me anyway. If I pay the fucking meal every time, sooner or later they're going to have to carry my bag. They're going to feel obligated to pick up the bag if I'm paying the bill all the time. So I never let anybody pay for my shit, ever. I hung out with a guy who was worth $4.5 billion for 90 days. Every time we went to dinner, I'm like, I was the first one saying, fuck it, I'm buying. You ain't owning me. So that's the problem with it, dude. You know, like, it's got to be a fair exchange back and forth, okay? And I'm not carrying dead weight. I'm not carrying dead weight. It's not my obligation to take care of the community. My obligation is to take care of me.
And your family.
Take care of me. Then, first me, then take care of my family. You know, like, based on what Michael Vick is saying, if the plane's going down, he's going to worry about everybody else's fucking mask before he puts his own on. He's going to die. And so had he done it the other way, he wouldn't have had to start over. Had he made some of those difficult calls along the way, he wouldn't have had to start over. He could be $1 billion player right now, like LeBron's going to be, or Michael Jordan.
Easily.
Yeah.
Instead, he went to prison.
He had to go backwards. Now he's got to restart. Is that an inspiration? Maybe. But I kind of like the LeBron story and the Jordan story better.
You question how
I tell you, I'm a collector of hummus. Do you see his hummus? Can you believe that?
did you get excited when you saw those?
Excited. Can I be honest?
Did you get a Woody?
I got pissed off. I got jealous. I said, this guy's hummus look better than my hummus. What is going on here?
One of them's bulletproof, 9,600 pounds.
9,600?
9,600 pounds, bulletproof, windows, doors.
Yeah, but my hummer is only 6,500 pounds.
Well, this thing's got 3,000.
No, so mine goes easier through the snow and through the deep sand.
Mine's got a turbo engine. It'll go 80 miles
I'm a
an
little
hour.
bit ahead of you. Your mine has wheels that are 42 inches. And I have 2 tanks. I have a 20-gallon tank with biofuel and a 20-gallon tank with regular fuel. Do you have that? You see what I'm
Wait a
saying?
minute, wait a minute. Fucking slow down.
2 more mature men, age-wise, still acting like little...
It's only one car you buy and the rest you lease. 150,000, Range Rover, it weighs 6,000 pounds. Section 179 IRS says anything over 6,000 pounds you can write off 100%. You could buy it on December 31st, write it off that year, even though you didn't even drive the car. Boom. $158,000 you get to write it off that day against your earned income if you have self-employment money or an LLC producing other income. I would pay cash for the Range Rover. We did. But the Cullinan that I have is a leased vehicle. I leased it with no money. I put it on a 24-month lease, never longer than that. Whatever the payment is, if you can't handle that payment, don't do it. And then every 24 months I trade that car in. Why do I do a lease rather than own? Because I can write off 100% of that lease payment every month against my business income.
You disagree with Grant Cardone heavily. What do you disagree with him on?
So I disagree with him on home ownership and buying a primary home. So Grant Cardone, he has money. He invests in a bunch of big apartments. So he says your house is the worst investment. For most people, their house is the best investment. Somebody who holds a house for 25 to 30 years, that's the most amount of money that they ever have. A guy like me, I became a millionaire through single family homes. The exact thing that he says is a bad investment. I've bought 6 primary properties and I've basically rent them out after moving into them. So it's a different strategy. Buy a house, put 5% down, and I rent it out and I cash flow positive on the property. So most people, if you're an investor, you have to put 20% down on a property, which eats up your cash flow. So you figure with one investment property, I can buy 4 single family homes with the same amount of down. Of course, I have to live in it for a little while, but I still have money coming in from other areas. So people without millions of dollars, buying single family homes as primary houses is one of the best investments.
So my advice to all young people, never buy a home, ever. Till you're super wealthy, then you buy a home. Till then, invest in yourself, invest in your business, and invest in real estate, the cash flows. Now, the audience is going to say, but where am I going to live? You're going to rent. You're going to rent where you live, and you're going to take the money that you would normally use to buy a house, and you're going to use that to build yourself, build your business, or invest in other real estate that pays you income.
$500 million in cash right now. Where do you keep your cash?
I got it in a bank, dude. On a sweep account that's protected.
So you're earning what, like 5% on that?
Yeah, probably average of somewhere between 3.5 and 5.5, depending on where that money's sitting at any given day. But dude, I don't want 5.5% on my money. That's all taxed. At my rate is taxed half, so I earn 2.7%. And I didn't keep up with inflation. I didn't keep up with the hammering of the
You're
money.
actually losing money by keeping it there.
Let's say I had $500 million sitting in an account since 2020. That $500 million is only worth $375 today. I would have lost $125 million.
Because of inflation.
There's nothing wrong, ladies, with taking care of your man. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't see how that's degrading to women. I don't know when this became a degrade to be a wife, to be the cook. Like, no food tastes better to me than the food you cook for me. I don't care where it comes from. When you make me eggs, it tastes better than any other eggs for some reason, dude. Like, when you cook me a steak, not the one we had last night, that was shit, by the way. Okay.
That one doesn't come from me.
It was a fucking filet mignon. I hate filet mignon. Okay, we've been married 20 years, and you have to know by now, it's got to be a ribeye or a New York steak, and prefer the ribeye, right? And I'd rather have a good ribeye bought, and then you make it in a bunch of butter, because for some reason it just tastes better when you touch it.
Okay.
And when you bring it to me, I'm telling you, there's so much value in women doing that.
Well, that's easy enough to do.
I don't hate commercial flights, but that's because I haven't been on that many.
Yeah,
and the
well,
one
you're going to
time-
be on a bunch of them in your life. Trust me.
Why would you wish that on me?
No, you will.
Do you
be.
hate me?
No, but you will be, because when you guys move out, you won't have access to some of the stuff you have now. And
Who knows? Maybe I'll get a really good role in some really good movie. I'll make $16 billion.
Well, if you make $16
And I'll have
billion,
my
you
own
can have
plane.
any plane you want. But
Exactly.
the chance that's never happened to an actor before.
Yeah, it has. I mean, not $16 billion, but maybe $16 million.
That won't buy a plane.
What?
You'll be
How much are planes?
What?
How much are planes?
Dude, you ain't flying a plane with 16 million. First of all, let me just give you a little math here. Here, write
Okay,
this
I guess
down.
the upkeep. Upkeep.
Write this down. No. Okay, 16 million. Subtract 3.2 million for your manager. Minus 1.6 million for your agent.
Hold on, I'm not doing this.
16 minus 3.2 minus 1.6 minus 5.4.
Right now, that's in the negative.
16 less 5 less 1.6 less 2.6. You have maybe 7 million left.
Okay,
with
now you don't live
fuel.
with me anymore. You have your own little condo over in LA. LA's taking $1 million a year from you in taxes. So now you're down to 6. You probably got a deadbeat boyfriend
Why does he have to be a deadbeat? Why
that
can't
you have to take care
Why
of.
can't he be the millionaire?
Well,
And I can keep my 60 million.
it's
He can already
it's
have
not
a
your
plane.
plane. It's it. When you buy a house on a 30-year mortgage, you're the one that's cash flowing the house. The house does not cash flow you. And this is why I tell you, on the come up, invest in things that cash flow. Rather than buying a car that does not cash flow, why don't you buy a car that you could rent out to the world that would cash flow? Then I'll be like, yeah, buy the car. You want to buy a Lamborghini and rent it out every weekend and then you get cash flow? Cool. You want to buy a house, 4 units that cash flows, and you want to live in one of the units for free? Cool, that cash flows. You want to live in a house that you have to feed and pay? You got to pay a mortgage, you got to pay interest, you got to pay maintenance, you got to pay property taxes, you got to pay for the broker fees? Don't do it. It doesn't cash flow. If it don't cash flow, I say no.
I have a lot of money in my 401k.
Okay, I'm sorry for you.
Why do you feel sorry for me? It's a way to put money in without paying taxes on it.
It's a way for you to be trapped for 30 years.
Well, you can pull it out when you're
63. How old are you right now?
50.
13 years from now, will taxes be higher or lower?
Higher.
You will wish you would have sold them when you were 50 because you'd pay lower taxes, dude.
You don't pay any taxes when you pull out money out of your 401k if you wait until you're 63.
When you start using that money, you're going to pay taxes, bro. You weren't charged taxes while it sat there. What's wrong with you? You're not.
IRS allows penalty-free withdrawals from retirement accounts after the age of 59 and a half.
Penalty free, not tax free. So they're going to charge you a penalty. They're going to put handcuffs on you to sell it before then. But dude, when you're 63 years old, when you start withdrawing, you're going to start paying taxes at that point.
Yeah,
They're
you're
gonna
right.
be higher.
401k